I want to show you peaceful protests in Surrey a few days ago. Surrey, youth, adults, and the RCMP. Take a look.
And his mom's right there.
Yeah. And Dale's right there. Look,
And they're kicking the car. That's his son.
oh, shit. Holy fuck! He deserves it. He deserves every bit of it. They better call for backup now.
What happened here, right? The cops get an easy call, a kid that's left stranded. He's left stranded. So they show up. I got so much to say. They show up. They get rocks thrown at them, objects, shoes. One cop gets hit in the head with an object. A female cop, female RCMP officer, gets her hair pulled, punched in the head several times. And I'm thinking, what did the police do to deserve this? Because they must have did something, right? They had to. They're bad people. They're racist. They must have done something bad. And I watched a clip from CTV. And they explain it all. It wasn't the group. It wasn't the group's entire fault. It was everybody's fault. Isn't it funny how you have to at least blame the police partly in something? Police did an amazing job. I'm being sarcastic. They did an amazing job. That's not being sarcastic. They did. They showed restraint, patience. They did everything they could. They didn't take anybody to jail over this. But what does the media do? Let's take a look. Okay?
In many ways, that video speaks for itself, but some of the people involved insist there is much more to the story.
Some of the people involved says there's much more to the story. How much? Much more. Don't you love how they start that? With a little exaggeration. Some people. It makes you think that it's way more than one, right? Some say there's plenty more. Right away, they're partly blaming the police. I'll give props to Global. They at least called it disturbing. They could have called it shocking, disgusting, gross, but they used disturbing. CTV, let's keep on going.
The mother of a boy who was arrested is speaking out to CTV News saying she's ashamed, but she also believes there's plenty of blame to go around.
The mother is speaking out. The mother of the bad use is speaking out, guys. Finally, she's speaking out. And, you know, there's plenty of blame to go around. We're going to hear what the mom has to say. Can you believe this? You're a parent? And you're going to go on TV and defend what your kid did? What your kid just did? Wouldn't it be the opposite? Wouldn't you just roast the shit out of your kid? Wouldn't you say how embarrassed you are and the police did a great job? Wouldn't you say that? Because the police why can't they ever tell the truth? These reporters are supposed to report fact. Why can't they just say what it really is? What it really is. I'm going to say what it really is. I'm going to say why this happened. Why can't they? Aren't you tired of watching the news? Okay, Mom.
CTV's Michelle Bernoro reports.
This woman, who we legally can't identify because her children are minors, says two of her sons were involved in the conflict when arrested.
Okay, so she has two kids at that scene. She's going to talk. She's going to blame her kids entirely on this, right?
He got accused of throwing a rock at an officer, and they tackled him to the ground.
Oh, my God. Oh, my... They tackled one of her sons to the ground. For really no reason. No reason at all. Just tackled him to the ground. Because police are supposed to take people to the ground lightly. Softly, gently, right? Remember that training that you had? Always take somebody lightly to the ground. That works, right?
To the ground, and they got the wrong child.
They got the wrong child. What'd she say? They got the wrong child. This is how we're going to blame them. You're embarrassing that you're on TV right now complaining about the police's actions. This is embarrassing. That CTV would even interview her. And she's upset because they got the wrong child.
Child.
Yes.
Because my other child was out of control.
However, she says the situation involved mistakes on both sides.
Mistakes on both sides, guys. There's mistakes on both sides. Did you know that? I didn't know that. Let's hear what the mistakes are, okay?
She says officers were name-calling and swearing at the teens.
Oh, no wonder why this happened then. The police instigated it. They were swearing and name-calling. That's why this happened. You got to share some responsibility, police, right? They do a stellar job. It's amazing. They do a stellar job, and you will never get credit for anything. Not now. I don't even know what to say. One kid got arrested for assault. Another kid got arrested for mischief. Another kid got arrested for obstruction. Nobody went to jail. Kids throwing a shoe at him. Punching a cop car. Adults are involved. A police officer gets punched in the head several times. CTV. And we know why this happened, right? There's a couple of reasons, but we know why. Remember this?
Yes, there's absolutely systemic racism.
When you call police bad, when you call police racist, this is your result. This is what happens. Cops show up now. You're racist. You're a bad man. You're a bad girl. You are bad people. You're the devil. In Vancouver, they're taking them out of the schools. Police out of the schools. Can you imagine? Of course, every kid that looks at police now thinks of them as bad. I know Lucky is not inciting violence, but she is lying. That's a lie. Cops are systemically racist. All cops are racist, guys. This is the result. This is what you're seeing. I don't know. I'm getting sick and tired of hearing it's like they're calling me racist. That's how I feel. Don't you ever ask yourself? Just tell me, Trudeau, Lucky, just tell me. Give me an example of systemic racism. Please, just give me an example. What practice do police do that's racist? What procedure do they do? Tell me the racist procedures. There's a reason why you, watching this, can't come up with one. Because it doesn't exist. Systemic racism doesn't exist. It doesn't. They can't give an example. There's no evidence. Just give me some evidence. Give me something. Tell me what you want to change. Can't do it, can you? No, you can't. Because it doesn't exist. It makes them look important when they accept that. I'm not saying long ago the system might have been racist, okay? I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that there's no racist cops. I'm just saying that not every cop is racist. It's not even close. I was a cop for a lot of years. You know, not one time did Bob ever come up to me and go, "Hey, man, let's go find some color tonight. Get some minorities tonight. That's what I want to do." It's ridiculous. Last thing we wanted to do was arrest anybody. It was a lot of work. A lot of paperwork. I could honestly never give you an example of the time I seen anybody oppress anybody. I've never witnessed a racist act in my entire career. And I promise you, if I did, I would give you an example. They're not giving you examples because it doesn't exist, guys. To say that every cop, when you say there's systemic racism, you're saying every cop is racist. It is the most goofiest thing that you can possibly say. That's like saying, I went to Depot on a Saturday. I flew in. I went to Depot. My first day there, I hadn't started the course, but my first day there, I showed up as a white man, non-racist. Yeah, I was a white, non-racist man on the Saturday. Sunday, we woke up, we had something to eat. Still non-racist. Monday, the day that the course started, the moment I woke up at 6 in the morning, I became racist. That's what they're saying. I became racist at that moment. Because they're all RCMP members are racist. This is how, I can't even believe I'm talking about this shit. I didn't start this podcast to talk about racism. Just kind of fell into it. It's such a stupid example that I just gave. I just feel so stupid that I even said that. But this is how stupid it is. The moment I woke up at 6 in the morning, I was a racist man. Some insist there's much more to the story. Much more. Plenty of blame going around. Wow. This is the world we live in now. Lucky she can't even dig herself out of this hole. And she knows she's lying. She knows she's lying. She knows that she doesn't believe this. I can't believe you have a boss like that. I feel bad for you. You might not think it's a big deal, but it's a big deal. How else do you expect people to react to police now when everybody knows that police are bad, they're the enemy, they're the devil? 2 cops in Compton, just sitting in their patrol car the other day. Some shithead comes up, takes their jaws off, almost murders both of them, shoots them in the head. They hadn't done nothing. They were just sitting there probably doing their paperwork, talking about, I don't know, an old pursuit that they had. And they get blown away. Why? All police are racist. That's why. There were celebrations in the street afterwards. Because it was an attempt murder of bad guys, right? Cops aren't allowed to... They're trying to get rid of cops that go to schools in Vancouver. That was the best part for me when I was a cop. Showing up when my kids start school. And they were so happy and so proud to see me in my uniform. That was the best part. And every other kid would run over. They want to see the police vehicle. They want to take your stupid baton out. And I even gave my baton out, gave it to my boy, and he whipped it out and showed all his friends. And those were the best moments. They want to take that away. Why wouldn't they, right? The boss said we're racist. Trudeau said we're racist. All cops are racist. Thank you for the facts, CTV. You're doing a great job. Moist. I can't believe. Could you imagine being a person on CTV? I wanted to do that at one point. When I couldn't become a cop. I was trying to become a cop and I couldn't become one. I wanted to be a newscaster. Could you imagine these guys? They go to bed at night and they know they just fed you a line of bullshit? And they're talking to you. I mean, how many, you watch this stuff, how many people believe it? Everybody probably, the majority of people. Who do you talk to now? Or who do you listen to? There's nobody to listen to. Nobody's really telling the truth anymore. I don't know. There's 2 reasons why this happened in Newton. There's no doubt about it. That's one reason. You see bad people, of course you're going to react that way. You're going to throw rocks at them, right? Kick their car. Punch it. What's the other reason? Bad parenting. 100%. I wasn't going to say this. Oh, man. I would bet my house on it. I'm going out on a limb here if I say it. But my experience tells me this. You have the mom on TV. Did anybody ask themselves, where's the dad? Where's daddy? Bet my house on it that daddy's not in the picture. The majority of every single call that I ever went to, that, and I'm not even blaming these kids. I'm not blaming them. I'm blaming the parents. I'm blaming people who say that cops are racist. Whenever I dealt with a unruly kid, one thing was always in common. I know I said this before. No father. Father's not in the picture. Kids live with the aunt. Usually it's a single mom. And I'm not saying single moms can't raise good kids. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, whenever it involved a bad kid, it's because dad wasn't around. There are a lot of great single moms, okay? I know one. She's our friend. She lives down the street. Her kids are awesome. She's a great mom. She's doing a great job, and those kids will turn out great. So that's not what I'm saying. I was trying to think the other day. Tell me, Clint, think of a time where you went to a house where it was all roses and cupcakes, and the kids were all fucked up. And I couldn't come up with one. I almost came up with one. I'm working in Duncan. I go in Maple Bay. I go to this house. It's beautiful. Mom's beautiful. Dad's beautiful. The kid ran away. And I'm thinking, that ungrateful little prick. You have all this and you run away. I'm going to teach you a lesson. So when he showed back up, I threw him in the back of the cop car. He's around 11. I thought I'd scare him a bit so he wouldn't do it again. And he starts crying. And I'm saying, why would you do that? Look what you got, man. And he goes, you got a great mom and dad. And he goes, that's not my dad. That guy does cocaine. Sure as shit he did. I reviewed old files afterwards. He was doing cocaine. He's a cokehead. I'm like, oh. Well, where's your real dad? Oh, he's dead. He shot himself in his head. Committed suicide. And I'm like, oh, fuck. No wonder you ran away. Jeez. That's the closest I could come up with that involved a good family. Bad parenting. Oh, yeah, and stop telling me. I hate it when I can't stand when I hear people say to me not all the time, but when people say, it's not an excuse to stay together. You don't stay together for the children. If you guys aren't getting along, you split up. You don't stay together because of the children. That's exactly why you stay together. That's not an excuse. That's the best excuse in the world. You figure your shit out. I don't care if you guys don't really like each other. You figure out a way to like each other again. Yes. Don't tell me you don't stick together because of the children. That's exactly why you stick together. Is because of the children. Of course, if you're beating the shit out of each other, that's a different story, right? I'm not talking about that. You make these kids, you got to be there for them. If you want them to turn out good, you stick together. You do it for the kids. Don't want to break up my ass. I don't know why I'm getting so... I just hate hearing that. Clint, you don't stay together because of the children. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do, okay? Yeah, actually you do. Don't give a flying fuck if you want a week off. Not happening. Wasn't going to say this, but... A few weeks ago, me and the wife were sitting in the living room. And we're talking about how every one of our friends are separated. Who got married, they're now divorced. And we're like, do we know anybody that's together really anymore? And then my wife says to me, well, you got to admit, Clint, it's pretty unnatural to be with the same person for 50 years. And I'm like, what? I'm like, what? Are you? And I'm thinking, you're going to divorce me when the kids graduate or something like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, what the hell are you saying? She's like, you can't get mad at that, Clint. I'm like, I can't get mad at it? Isn't it funny you can never get mad at anything? If I can't get mad at that, what can I get mad at? She's obviously looking forward to something in a few years, I guess. The kids graduate, but it's pretty unnatural being with the same person for 50 years. You gotta admit it. Holy shit. Okay, well. I don't know what else I could say about this. If you guys see me on the street, or don't mention what I say about my wife on here, please. We had a couple over the other night, and they're like, "Oh, Tara, Clint's got you pegged." And Tara's like, "Why? What's he saying?" He's like, "So, just so you know." And my wife is like, "You're doing the so? You're doing the so on your videos?" I'm like, "No. Don't mention." She doesn't even watch this. And I don't even know what I'm allowed to say about her. So I don't want her starting to review all that. I've made like 60 of these things. I don't want her to. Anyways, you say anything else, just don't mention that I talk about my lovely wife, please. And you are lovely, if you're watching.
Tonight, the mother is speaking out. She has something to say. There's blame to go around. Blame. Plenty of blame. Some are saying they were swearing. Name calling. Tonight on CTV. Some insist there's more to the story.
Wow. Oh my God, you guys can't do anything right. Even when you do a perfect job, you don't get any credit. You will never be the victim again. Nope. 2 cops almost get murdered in a car, and there's celebrations on the street. I don't know. I just thought I'd share that video with you. It's coming to Canada, guys. This is not just happening in America. It's coming to Canada. This is what happens when you call police devils, when you call them all racist. And I don't see any way of getting out of it now. Trudeau, white privilege, right? Talks about white privilege. He's saying this shit. Bye-bye.